This, ladies and gentlemen, is the second episode of Des Shits On. Des Shits On is now 2 episodes old. And again, as always, could be the last one. There could be a fucking comet coming in tomorrow, taking us all out. It could be that there's another strain of COVID that mixes with AIDS, that mixes with rectal cancer, and it's like it serves it all up in a bunch and takes you fucking out like that, along with everybody else on the planet. You never know. You never fucking know. Count your blessings. Breathe through your crooked nose every once in a while. Just remind yourself that things are, as bad as I might make it seem, things are good. And it's important to do that exercise, especially when we're going to do what we're about to do for the second episode, okay? So, I think I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but I had an idea that I was going to do this the next time after the Harry Met Sally's movie that fucking took way too fucking long. And this will probably take fucking way too long too, not going to lie. But, it's something I haven't heard yet. I don't even know how we're going to do this. How are we going to do this? I think we should be able to. It should be fine. It should work. Okay. This is something that should be right up my fucking alley, especially if we're talking about Des Shits On. I have not heard this yet. I haven't even pulled it up. I should have looked it up before. This is... Okay, hold on a second. Is it this? Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I didn't even see this. This is a podcast called Renegades Born in the USA, starring 2 people. Okay, 2 people that, I forgot to get Pepto-Bismol. I did. I should have gotten. I have a plastic bag in the kitchen. If anything, I'll go run and get one. If it gets too bad, I don't know. I could be overhyping this. I could be fucking sitting through this and say, you know what? It's actually not too bad. It's informative. But something tells me that because you got clown and clown, okay, that it's gonna be a puke fest. It's gonna be a fucking eye rolling, all that. That's what I'm prepared for. So prepare for the worst. You're never gonna be surprised. What is it? Expect the unexpected. All that shit. Okay. This is called Renegades Born in the USA, and it stars a guy and another guy. One guy who is, fucking rock star, whatever, but now is more famous for fucking selling Jeeps to people in the middle of a country, in a church somewhere, saying whatever the fuck he's saying. And another guy who used to be president, right? And was everybody's fucking best friend, and nobody would go after him, and it was all peaches and cream. And then the guy after him turned out to be a fucking clown, and now we all look back at his shit and say, oh, maybe he was a fucking clown too. Maybe all this shit sucks. Okay? So that's the lens that I'm looking through this shit. And these are the 2 people that we're gonna listen to now. There's a bunch of topics here. Okay, fatherhood. See, that's for the sake of the content here. We're gonna skip that one. Relationships with our fathers, that also. See, these are 2. I'm coming in this with an open mind. Okay, first of all, I'm coming in with this with an open mind. Second of all, I just the star asterisk before we get started with this whole thing. If you're looking at this and you're saying, oh, he's going after that guy, we must know what his politics are. He must fucking relax. This is the fucking first one, okay? I said we never know how long this goes, but in my mind, we have fucking ammunition and material for fucking 400,000 episodes of this shit, okay? Line them up. I don't give a fuck who they are, where they're from, where they stand on this bullshit spectrum you fucking attach yourself to. Let's go. But I figured we'll start with the guys who are actually fucking in charge now. And if you don't think, oh, but he's not in charge, oh, really? Oh, really? Yeah, because this fucking guy who's in there now, he just got there on his own, right? When he still had a fucking mind left and he was running 12 years ago, he got fucking 1% of the vote. But then this guy who was the hot shot decided, oh, I'll make him my running guy so that all, the white guys in America aren't as afraid, It's because we got old Joey over here, right? So he's going to hold the fort down. He's the only fucking reason this guy had a fucking breath of a chance is because of his attachment to this guy. And, might I say, I don't know, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, whatever, but because of the works let's say, the puppeting behind the fucking scenes. This guy could have rode off into the fucking sunset. He could have done a lot of shit in his fucking post-presidency, okay? But he decided instead, no, I'm not going to do either of those things, okay? I'm going to be a fucking puppet master, and behind the scenes, I'm going to make calls and say, yeah, you do this, you do that, we're going to make sure that this still happens, and at the same time, fucking yanking all of our fucking chains with the what you call it, Netflix, this Spotify shit. So, again, you know what? Maybe to be fair, after this, we'll go back to the first ones, because when it talks about dad shit and when it talks about fathers and all that kind of shit, marriage, it's a bit different. It's a bit more like a person to person. But I don't give a fuck. I don't know these people as people. I know them as figures, and I know them as they're doing the politics thing. So we're gonna go to the politics shit, and like I said, we'll see what it's like. I have not listened to any of this yet. I have not listened to a fucking second. I'm just maybe projecting what I think I'm going to hear when it fucking comes through my speakers. So we'll see if I'm right. We'll see if I'm wrong. What have you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll start with this. Money and the American Dream. Because I feel like this is going to fucking piss me the fuck off. Okay. Let's fucking do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the third episode of Renegades Born in the USA. Let's see if we can hear it. Just make sure. Oh,
this episode
Signs of Life
is brought to you by Comcast.
Signs of Life.
The COVID-19 crisis has made it difficult for many students to get online and access the tools they need to succeed. Mm-hmm. Over the last 10 years, Comcast has worked to advance digital equity.
You know what? Before, just real quick, is there a video version of this shit? Because if there's a video version, at least I'm looking at something and I can direct my anger or my sympathies towards something or someone. Let's look at this up. Let's hop on the old YouTubes. I should have done all this work before. I understand. I'm sorry, but Renegades Born in the USA. Here we go. Oh no, it's a trailer. Is it a trailer? It's a trailer. It's a teaser. The teaser. I don't want a fucking teaser. I'm seeing these faces already, and it's the two of them fucking say. There has to be a video for it. Or is there? What about, is there a video on this shit? No? I'm so lost. Why am I so lost? It's so fucking simple, Des. What's the matter with you? You know what it is? My internet's fucking slow. This is what happens when you try to hack the system. Sometimes you're better off I would say you're better off paying for shit, but you know what? It's like, just the title of this one. Holy shit. Our unlikely friendship. Yeah, what's unlikely about that? Unlikely fucking friendship. Yeah, two big fucking bloated liberal types. What's unlikely about that? What the fuck is unlikely? Unlikely friendship would be this guy and the guy Bannon's. Okay? That's fucking unlikely friendship. Don't give me this fucking unlikely. Fuck off, unlikely friendship. Alright, so I'm gonna be just, whatever.
Now they are working with both nonprofit partners and city leaders to create over 1,000 Wi-Fi connected lift zones in community centers nationwide to help address the homework gap. Because students and their families need safe spaces to get online and access the resources they need, even when school is closed. Learn more at Comcast.com/education.
Should I do this on 1.2 speed? Because, okay, here we go. Yeah, don't use his music or anything,
Have you ever stood in
use
front of a
fucking
mirror,
jazz.
ready to shave and felt stuck? Maybe you're thinking, am I using the right blade?
This is another thing. Look at that. Typical of this whole. This is exactly the fucking thing. This is exactly the fucking thing. I'm not pausing. Starting with two fucking ads. It are the ads for something small. No, it's ads for bullshit.
Dollar Shave Club. Now at a store near you.
It perfectly encapsulates this whole shit. They really need fucking ads on this shit. Still not using his music, by the way. One of the guys does music written 1,000 fucking songs. Didn't use it. A weird choice to me.
Benjamin Franklin, who did pretty well for himself.
Oh, shut up.
To saying that
it's so bad already. Oh. Oh. Just that fucking... Oh, what am I in for? What did I sign myself up for? Oh, it's already just right off the fucking bat. Benjamin Franklin, who actually turned out to be... Like, people know. Can you pull back for 2 seconds? Can you fucking pull the facade down for 2 seconds? Benjamin Franklin. What change? We gotta change. This is not gonna work, is it? It's been less than 2 seconds in this shit. Fucking 10 minutes of ads. Fucking 2 seconds of this shit. Okay, we gotta. Okay, here we go. Again, not his music. Now we're back on track. I'll try to. Let's. Deep breaths, Des. Deep breaths.
Benjamin Franklin, who did pretty well for himself in his day, is quoted as saying that money never made a man happy yet, nor will it. The more a man has, the more he wants.
Oh, this is such...
Instead of filling a vacuum.
Yeah, shame...
It makes one.
Shame the person who wants money in a fucking system
Wise
that
man,
is
Mr.
all about
Franklin.
money. Wise man.
Growing up in the 60s and early 70s, my family and Bruce's didn't have a lot. And didn't expect a lot.
Shut up.
But we had enough. American society wasn't so stratified then. Life was still a struggle for a lot of people.
Yes, it was.
The doors of opportunity were too often closed for women and people of color. But thanks to strong unions and government investment, upward mobility wasn't a myth. Hard work didn't just deliver financial stability and the promise of a better life for your kids. It also provided people with a sense of dignity and self-worth. It's something that Bruce and I have both spent a lot of time thinking about. How the American economy changed.
Oh, it didn't fucking change. It's the same economy. It's the same economy. What fucking changed? What changed? The technology of it? It became faster at chewing people the fuck up? What the fuck are you talking about? Well, it used to be great, but and then these people want to go out and say, oh, but MAGA is dangerous because they're trying to make America. Yeah, bring America what? Back to the same fucking place you're talking about. Well, it used to be what, and people used to work hard, and you can't be chasing money because blah, 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 blah. Asshole, basic fucking levels of income. How about that shit? How about the whole thing was fucked from the start? What are you talking about? And it makes sense that he has fucking Springsteen on, so they can paint this fucking bullshit picture, this whole thing of like flag waving and then this and then that, and it's all beautiful. And we used to be back in the day, and you used the hard work. People still fucking work hard, asshole. Hard work doesn't go out the window. People still work hard. The point was never the hard work. Okay, yeah, maybe for a brief second there was hard work was attached to what you actually fucking made, maybe. But don't act like this is some different shit. Like this came out of left field. Like we couldn't see it. We couldn't see it coming. It's the same fucking thing. General Motors, Ford, wasn't that it? And then who decided they were going to close the factories down? Who was that? Somebody else?
Chase for the almighty dollar. We lost some of the values of community.
No, bullshit. Bullshit.
That we are going to need to make us whole once again.
No. See, make again, okay? Language here. Make again. But that was the issue. But now make again.
You suddenly realize there's a class basis to this entire thing. Where how is it that the kids who are going to college don't have to go? And this is part of what separates World War II, that greatest generation, from the Vietnam generation, is
greatest generation.
Suddenly that sense of
the greatest generation.
We are going to hook it up so that the privileged don't have to make sacrifices for bad decisions being made in Washington. Yeah. And I think there's a consciousness of that injustice.
Once again, what fucking changed? What changed? Because the draft. Oh yeah, now they got rid of the draft. Oh yeah, so now it's not the privileged anymore. Guy, back in the greatest generation. What and what's the solution then? Become a privileged motherfucker? Is that the answer?
Disillusioning people as well.
Disillusion, you're damn right.
We just took that for granted.
Hey.
We're not up there.
We're
down here.
And
we're playing by the rules of down here.
Yeah.
And if we don't want to go, there are street prescriptions that you're going to have to follow to get out, and it's going to involve some crazy ass shit, and that was, there was that nobody could afford the doctor's notes or the this or the that or getting into college. I barely got in the first time. I don't even remember feeling aggrieved by it at the time.
You don't feel some class resentment.
No.
You just be like, of course the rich kids are going to have a different deal than I am.
Yeah.
And that's, now, but you don't think of that as raising questions about the whole myth of the American dream and upward mobility and anybody can make it?
I think, you lost your faith in life, liberty, and the pursuit of meaning.
What are you talking about?
And there was a little bit of, it's a little every man for himself,
Are they just like, are they in a room that's surrounded by fucking bumper stickers? Are they just reading bumper stickers off the wall? What are you fucking talking about? Like, I don't understand these. Like, to me, it sounds like if you took Alexa bots, fucking programmed it to have these fucking people's voices, and then started talking about shit. Like, it sounds like I cannot picture you or these guys ever being in that fucking, and they might have been in that fucking situation. I can't picture it. It sounds like people who, like aliens, who are trying to learn, like, how, like, things are on the fucking planet, and they're reciting it back to us. It's like, what do you, like, life, what do you talk, life and live, like, what are you saying? What are you saying? I don't get it. And now there's all his music. Now it's just him strumming a fucking guitar for 2 hours.
The economic picture in Freehold in my childhood, 1950s, was a very, very different picture than the economic picture that runs across the country today.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And if it is, if it's saying because it used to be good, now it's not good, well, then what happened there? What is this?
If you were middle class in Freehold, or if you were the wealthiest people in Freehold, there was a street you lived on. I remember it was called Brinkerhoff Avenue. It was the widest tree-lined street in town. And to find poverty, you had to really look for it. And it was there, usually in communities of color. But the difference of income equality felt so much less that those ideas never entered your mind. I know my parents who lived hand to mouth. I mean,
from Bay Ridge, by the way.
Money they had this week until they had money next week, and then spent all of it. I mean, literally, we all lived that way. We never thought of ourselves as struggling, or we were clothed, we had food, and we had a roof over our heads, though our home was pretty funky, but it sat there in the midst of other homes, that it wasn't that dramatically different.
It wasn't like you were ashamed of the house, or you thought, man, we need to get like fancier curtains, or.
Well, in our house, I did have a little bit of that going, because for some reason,
even the laugh is so bullshit.
And for some reason, our house was it got pretty dilapidated, But even then, I never thought of myself as a poor kid. I lived in the middle of a middle class neighborhood.
Part of what you're saying, though, is if you're growing up as a kid there and you're looking around, you think, all right, I'm pretty much on par with everybody else.
Bobby Duncan down the street, or
yes.
and
maybe his
Blackmore
dad
over here.
Maybe his dad runs the bank, whereas my dad, works at the bank or works in the factory.
Yeah.
But I don't feel as if I am somehow on the outside looking in.
You don't feel like you don't feel like you've been victimized or are a victim. You know, you're aware of some class differences, of course. But
the pace of this thing is fucking glacial.
Even people are aware of it today.
But did you have folks in the neighborhood, were there friends of yours or kids who said, "Man, I'm getting out of here because I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to get that new latest, Chevy, and that's a sign, that's a marker that I've made it." Just this notion that you needed to make a certain amount of money or have a certain amount of stuff, because if not, then you were a failure, or you're.
I'm gonna put this on one. I'm gonna put this on 1.2 fucking speed, because the amount of fluff. Okay, I'm waiting for the A to get to the point, and B to enough of this fluff. They're saying the same shit. What's the point? What is your fucking point? Look, 8 fucking minutes in, after the 10 minutes of fucking ads to start the thing off. We're going 1.2. We're going 1.2. We're just gonna fucking do it, because at this point, it'll sound like normal human beings.
Haven't been ambitious enough. Was there any of that kind of
there you go.
sensibility?
Perfect.
In my experience, that's a much more modern phenomenon. Right. I don't remember that being a huge topic of conversation in high school, or everybody wanted to make a living, and if you were going to do really well, you were going to go to college.
Right. That was a marker.
Big marker.
If you went to college, that indicated something a little bit different.
You were special. Mm-hmm. But that changed dramatically in the United States in the 70s, certainly the 80s. The Gilded Age of the 80s.
So we'll fast forward a little bit. And I'm in middle school and then high school in the 70s. And I see all this through the lens of my grandparents, who I lived with most of the time. And they are Depression era, World War II era folks.
Right, as my grandparents were.
And we lived in an apartment in Honolulu, maybe 1,200 square feet. I remember as an adult going back to the apartment and just thinking, this is really modest. But at the time, I never, ever thought about, well, I don't have much. And I didn't consider the world foreclosed to me because I was not wealthy.
Right.
And my grandparents, they wanted me to go to college and sacrificed for me to go to a prep school that more or less assured, unless I got kicked out for drinking, that I'd get to college. I'm saying all this, I know we sound like these old guys.
Yeah, you do. That's fucking guaranteed.
Blah, blah, blah.
Guaranteed.
But
you fucking hit the nail on the head for the first time in fucking 12 minutes. Is this not going? What do you mean? What the fuck happened here? What, are you kidding me?
To make sacrifices for bad decisions being made in Washington. And I think there's a consciousness of that injustice.
Did it stop? I guess it stopped when I hit pause. Hold on a second. I don't know what's going on here. But you know what I'm gonna do? Here's what I'm gonna do. Because God forbid I miss a second of this thrilling fucking content over here. Go away. Escape. My God. Computers. I swear to God, computers, I guess they're allowing me to do this, but for fuck's sake. Okay.
You and I had the same sense that this shift took place. It's right around the 80s, early 80s.
The arrogance.
Gets elected, he breaks the air traffic controllers union.
Yeah.
You got stagflation.
Right.
Yeah, one person enters, and that's it. Because he fucking ascended himself. I'm not fucking arguing the point that fucking Reagan was the biggest bag of shit to fucking ever. I'm not fucking arguing that point. But fucking look at the fucking electoral fucking results. Okay, go look back at fucking Nixon. The whole fucking thing is red. Okay? The entire country said, that's what we're doing. So why do they fucking do that? Things changed in the 80s. Yeah, because what one person came in and fucking changed everything the way everything was? Or maybe people fucking bought into that. Like they never look at that shit from the second fucking election there. Look at that map. And you fucking come to me and tell me, find a speck of blue on that. You know why? You know why he wiped out? Because it's morning in America. Blah, blah, blah. And the trees are green. And the birds are singing. And it's all great. It's all Jim Dandy. And people say, yeah. And they fucking voted for that. They all fucking did that. It's millions and millions and millions of fucking people. All this shit you're saying, yeah, okay. But you're talking about the people used to say this and then now they think this. And then it was that guy's fault. Says the rock star who did the same fucking shit. He did the same shit, except instead of being president, he was fucking making money being on a stage, doing the same fucking thing. The flags and the workers are here, and everything is beautiful, and it's, oh, but we don't agree with him. You're doing the same thing. You're inventing this fucking imaginary fucking land, and now, because of that, you made fucking bazillions of dollars. You're hanging out with the dude who used to be fucking president, and the two of you are sitting together talking about, hey, yo, it used to be, and this other fucking fairyland that you've made, greatest generation. That's cool. You just want your childhood again. You're just old fucks who want your childhood again. That's fucking fantastic. Go do that on a porch somewhere. Don't fucking. This is what is happening right now. On whatever side, whatever perspective you're fucking coming from. Because the last fucking bunch of clowns, they wanted it to be the way it was in some old past. Nobody knows what the fuck they're talking about. When are you talking about? When were things excellent? You don't fucking know. It was better when you were a kid and you didn't have to think about all this shit. And now these people say, that's wrong, you can't do it. They come in and they're doing the same fucking thing. This is the message of this age now. It used to be. Stop how. I don't give a fuck how it used to be anymore. I know how it used to be. I don't need you to tell me how it fucking used to be. If I want to know how it was, I actually want to know how it was at those. I'll fucking go around the corner, talk to some guy who was fucking there. And he's going to tell me the same shit. Because why? Because he's a human being. And like all human beings, we all have this fucking soft spot for when we were 3. And you go get some fucking ice cream. And you'd go, you'd beat the shit out of your friend. And then he'd beat the shit. Listen, those were the good old days shit. We're trapped. We're trapped in the fucking good old days. And now, the signal that we're trapped is probably, I didn't check the fucking charts on this. This thing is probably fucking top 10, top whatever. If it's not, then maybe it's a signal that we're listening and saying, you know what? Enough with that shit. Enough with that shit. I digress.
And you have the beginning of the kind of media that lifestyles of the rich and famous introduce, which brings the culture of materialism.
Oh yeah, go Google whose island was this guy on? Fucking Geffin's Island. Fucking who is the guy he made his wedding? The guy, the CEO of whatever. You doing commercials for fucking Jeep? You're doing commercials for Jeep. And you're going materialism, blah 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 blah. I'm sure how's that nice house for you? Clown.
Into everyone's home 24 hours a day, and suddenly they're being told you are not good enough unless you have this
stuff. This is right around the time that I moved to New York. And New York was coming out of bankruptcy, but Wall Street is surging. Right? And this is when the movie Wall Street comes out, and Greed is Good. Michael Douglas in the high collars, and the huge cell phone, right?
The size of a backpack.
you mark my words, will not only save Teldar paper, but that other malfunction corporation called the USA. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I hated that so much that when I became fucking president, I stacked my fucking cabinet full of fucking bankers. And I didn't fucking prosecute a single fucking banker. That's how much I hated the greed on Wall Street.
Manhattan in 81, 82, 83 is this good perch to watch this shift in culture. It was sort of the epicenter of it. And as you said, it is suddenly in your face. Look, you know, it's a little bit like that David Mamet play, Glenn Ross, where you got a bunch of salesmen. The guy says, first place, you get a Cadillac. Second place, steak knives. Third place, you're fired. Right? Right? There's suddenly that sense of, hey, you know, you are either going to win or you are going to lose in this capitalist game, and you don't want to be on the backside of that thing. What I saw then in my peers, because I did go to college, the shift in terms of young people thinking, if I don't get to Wall Street or a white shoe law firm to punch my ticket, then I could start slipping down the scales.
Let me give you, for instance, my kids are going to school, nice little school across the street from my house. I go for the first day of parents' introduction.
Right.
Sit down, and the first thing is the headmaster gets up, and he says, "Now I don't want you parents worrying that when your child has his first day at Bear Stearns, this is the opening salvo. My kid's only 4. You know, but that was.
Once again, talking to a guy who fucking stacked his cabinet full of people from places like Bear Stearns and did not prosecute anybody from Bear Stearns. And has the balls to turn around and say, well, I couldn't do it because people on the other side of the aisle. Bullshit. I would fucking have so much more respect for this guy if he came out, did a fucking podcast and said, look, I know I came in and said this and that and this and that, and we didn't get it done. It's a fucking shit show in there. I believe that. Obviously, he's not going to come out and say, they gave me a hard time because I'm black and they didn't want to fucking say it. Which he could say, and I would fucking say, yeah, I fucking agree with that too. That was there. But then come back out and say, look, if you were serious about, if Mr. Smith was fucking going to Washington here, and you fucking had this, here's what we're going to do, and you realize, oh shit, it's really stacked against that. It's really fucking stacked against that. Maybe the thing then to do afterwards, and maybe I guess you can't fucking do it. Okay, maybe it's literally that much of a sewage fucking treatment plant. Forget the treatment plant, just actual fucking sewage. It's just a big pile of sewage. Big tub of sewage, pile of sewage. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a sewage expert. Just a large vat of things that are, you know, a place. What's the largest? I'm gonna Google it later. The largest vessel for storing fucking sewage, and we'll make that the fucking the symbol. Maybe it's that. Oh, one more. I'll go one more. What if it's like the Suez thing that they get the boat fucking stuck there? You know how large that fucking a boat like that, full of sewage. That's what this place apparently is, right? To the point where, now I'm saying things. Why don't you leave? Because maybe it's that fucking bad. Maybe maybe it's so fucking bad you can't even fucking talk about it. You don't want to have. God forbid anybody knows the fucking backdoor deals you had to fucking make. This and that and this and that, all the other. That's fine. Okay, so then maybe you can come out and say, well, here's what happened, here's where it went wrong. You'd be a fucking savior for it. You'd have the respect of fucking everybody. You'd have the respect of the fucking Trump guys if you fucking did that. You understand me? You would have, if you came out and said, here's how much of a thing of sewage it is. They'd be like, holy shit, you know what? Obviously, they go off and be like, yeah, because you're trying to pass to you fucking Fidel Castro, blah, 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 blah. No, but then a lot of them will be like, you know what? Right from the source. But you can't do that. I guess it's that fucking bad. So if it's that fucking bad, you know what? Like, if that's the case, then you know what? It was actually good what you did. Just fucking disappear for 4 years. Like I said, didn't actually do that. Surfaced when, you know, when a dude who's literally fucking dead needed help getting into fucking office. Came back out of nowhere there. Some people mysteriously fucking dropped out the day before. Where did that come from? What was the story there? Check those fucking phone bills. Who was calling from what number? Was any from Chicago or fucking Hawaii? Anyways, if that's the case, then shut your fucking mouth and go away. But don't fucking come back here and start saying, oh, you see these banks? Yeah, we fucking know. We were all watching. The next 12 fucking years, all of our lives have been affected by that shit. Don't fucking... why are you telling us reality? Who is this for? It's not for young people. Young people aren't fucking listening to you. Young people don't give a fuck what you gotta say. Not anymore. Who is this for? Is it for 40 or 50-year-olds who would have had the same experience as you? So what is this, reassurance? No, you are right. It was better when we were younger. And then something happened. Yeah, something happened. Some people didn't have the fucking balls to do what they were going to say. Obviously, consequences are fucking massive. But still, you didn't do it. So that's what this is. This is reassurance to people who were like, I thought I was going crazy. I thought things were... It's liberal fucking reassurance. I don't have fucking... I really don't have fucking time for this, but there's all...
Yeah. You could feel it, that anxiety, and when I told
why is it the accent?
That I was going to
anxiety?
Work as a community organizer.
Work as a community organizer.
The notion that, you know, having graduated from this college.
From this Harvard Law School, where I was top class Harvard Law School.
An occupational path that nobody could really even understand what it was.
Nobody knew what it was. Made no sense.
You know, this is all happening against the backdrop of manufacturing moving offshore.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, again. Once again. First of all, he should have just a fucking leave one of those the things of the wheat, the thing of wheat hanging on. There's folks coming around. He's like pretending to be the guy that fucking sits outside on a crate when you drive through like some kind of like town with tumbleweeds and shit. And I'm supposed to fucking buy this. It's gotten worse too. Like he put it on, I think at the start, you know, to appease the people, just to make them, you know. So I'm not one of the scary black folks. I'm not. You can trust me. And I think he put it on, and then but like he kept it on now. Like you could take it off. But, anyways, now he's going back to the factories and the manufacturing and the union. But it's the same shit. Like he came out of nowhere.
50s and 60s are making maybe 30 times what the average guy or gal on the assembly line are making now.
In the golden age of fucking materialism, mind you, that all of a sudden fucking appeared out of nowhere. Where did the materialism come from? Yeah, because that didn't exist in the fucking 50s. Have you ever seen a commercial from the 50s? You were fucking there. At least one of you was. Did you forget that part? Or were you just too fucking young to register? Or are you just conveniently leaving that out because it doesn't support the worldview that you're fucking telling yourself, which is a fucking lie?
300 times.
Right.
So part of what happens is when suddenly in the 1980s, you have a politics, Ronald Reagan describing government being the problem. Let's cut taxes. Let's cut public service.
What are you talking about fucking suddenly? What are you talking about suddenly? How is it suddenly? How?
It also means...
What the fuck was Nixon? What the fuck was that?
Cutting public jobs, cutting union jobs. And that meant, you know, the combination of manufacturing going away and public sector jobs going away decimates the opportunity for black men in particular, but also black women to get work. And just as they're finally about post-civil rights movement, you know, cracking open the door to get some of these jobs that previously had been banned to them, the rug gets pulled out from under them. So there's a real shift in how capitalism operates, and people's wages really are stagnating, and the inequalities really are getting greater. So this isn't just a change in mindset; it's
now
an actual
getting
reality.
squashed.
Yes,
you know,
they're getting squeezed.
And so the question is, or one of the questions is, were the 40s and 50s and somewhat 60s just a break in between two gilded ages?
And the answer is a lot of it's yes.
It's a fucking fantasy. What are you talking about? You can trace all this shit back in a fucking line. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is the fucking issue. This is the fucking issue. It used to be good, and then something happened. This is the thing. This is the thing. What changed? This is the thing. What the 40s and 50s, the 40s and 50s, sorry, excuse me, the 40s and 50s were a break from what the fuck happened for the first half of the fucking 40s? There was people blowing the fucking shit out of each other. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The 60s? More people blowing fucking people up. 50s, people blowing... Vietnam shit starts in the 50s. Korean fucking war. What are you fucking talking about? This is the issue. You see, this in a nutshell is exactly what's in charge right now. There's people who cannot for a second admit that maybe something is, maybe the dream is not, maybe the dream is dead, maybe the dream never was, maybe it's there but it's not the way I thought it was, maybe the dream is happening and at the same time while the dream was happening a lot of fucked up shit was happening. But no, don't puncture the dream, don't puncture that can't be the problem. No, it's this and it's that. It's these slivers, it's the portions of the dream, but it's not the whole dream. Forget. This shit did not come out of... elections? Again, elections. Election results. Off the fucking charts. For all this shit. Are they stupid? Everyone's just stupid? Or is that what the culture is? The fucking arrogance.
Alright, so I wrote this in 1982, I guess. 81. This is Atlantic City.
Now you just gonna play a fucking song out of nowhere?
I wrote this in somewhat 60s, just a break in between two gilded ages.
And the answer is a lot of it's yes.
Alright, so
now he's just gonna fucking play a song. He's gonna play a song out of nowhere.
1982, I guess. 81. This is Atlantic City.
Okay, yeah.
You see what those were? But there's a dread in the air. In the 80s, there's a dread in the air.
Right.
Really, maybe you can trace it back to the end of the Vietnam War, but there's a dread in the air and in the idea of the American dream that hadn't been present previously. Because I wrote a very strange album in the early 80s called Nebraska, and it was this very quiet record that dealt with all of these issues at that moment, you know? Now, I'm writing about these things when I'm not that conscious about it, you know? I mean, I'm following what I'm feeling in the air.
Right.
This is the most boring fucking podcast I've ever heard in my fucking life. I'm not even, like, I thought this was gonna be fun. I thought I was gonna be at least be able to, I'm just fucking, you know what I am? I'm just depressed and I'm fucking dour and there's no, what's the sunshine? I got two fucking people who are like fucking, you know, librarians, professors. I got fucking two professors, except one, you know, thinks he's a fucking professor. The other guy thinks he's not a professor. I think, you know what it is? These guys want to be each other too. This guy who's strumming away, thinking that he's fucking smarter than he is, dropping fucking vocabulary here and there. And you got this other guy thinking he's more folksy than he fucking is. Fucking Harvard Law School, fucking former fucking president, lining my shit with fucking Citibank's people. And now we'll play a song for you to remind you. I'm sorry for being such a mope, folks. I really am. I thought this was gonna be a lot more fun. I thought it was, but it
Tried to put my money away.
oh my fucking god.
I got guessed that no honest man.
Jesus Christ.
So I drew what I had from the Central Trust. And I bought us 2 tickets on that coast city. But moving down south and everybody's unemployed, sort of set, and the cost that was paid by the families in town and my own moved me in writing the direction that I became. And really, like I said, I didn't write with any of the idea of it being socially conscious or with any sort of awareness. I was just telling stories.
I'm so bored.
That I was feeling at the time.
I'm so fucking bored. Can you fucking... Oh, this format fucking sucks too. It's still on 1.2 speed, mind you. Should we just put on 1.5? Should we go up to 1.5? Hey, that's what we'll do. See, let's bring some fucking fun into the atmosphere. We're gonna go back. We're gonna put up to 2, and we're gonna dance along. There we go. There we go. There's the ideas here.
I didn't write with any of the idea of it being socially conscious or with any sort of awareness. I was just telling stories that I was feeling at the time, you know. We're going out where the sand's turning to gold. Put on your stockings, baby, because the night's getting cold. Maybe everything dies, baby, that's a fact. But maybe everything that dies someday comes back.
Off rhythm. There's no rhythm. I want it to be like a...
This episode of Renegades is brought to you by Comcast.
There we go.
Students from low-income families need access to the internet and computers to level the playing field. And for the last decade,
Spit, lady, spit.
They've connected over 4 million students from low-income families to low-cost, high-speed Xfinity internet through Internet Essentials, the nation's largest, most comprehensive internet adoption program. They're working with hundreds of school districts across the country to sponsor free internet.
This is fun. I'm having fun now. Hey, who would have known? 2 times fucking speed. That's the magic number.
To access the resources they need to help address the homework gap. Comcast is on a mission to advance digital equity, close the digital divide, and help connect as many Americans as possible. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
So here's, I guess, a question for both of us, which is, we start off not thinking a lot about money, but thinking, in your case, about music and your art. And I'm deliberately saying, I'm not taking that path.
Now, that's a big choice to make coming out of the kinds of schools you came out of and given the opportunities that you would have had. I was going to make that choice.
You know, part of it was, I think, because my mom was a little bit of a free thinker. And,
Wait, what?
Music and your art. And I'm deliberately saying, I'm not taking that path. Now, thinking a lot about money, but thinking, in your case, about music and your art. And I'm deliberately saying, I'm not taking that path.
Now, that's a big choice to make coming out of the kinds of schools you came out of and given the opportunities that you would have had. How did you come to make that choice?
You know, part of it was, I think, because my mom was a little bit of a free thinker. And, she
you're right.
wandered around, become an anthropologist, and went into development work. So I guess, she was not all that practical to begin with and kind of romantic, and I'm sure she got put a little bit of that into me.
What's his fucking net worth? What are the combined net worths of these fucking people? Can you just be honest about that? Can you just come out and say, look, I got fucking millions of dollars. I didn't do shit in the short term forget money, but this is the whole thing. If they go, I didn't do it for the money. Yeah, you did it for career advancement. Are you doing this shit because you give a shit, or are you doing it for careerism? Because if you're doing it because you give a shit, you wouldn't be fucking putting out garbage like this. Because this is the whole thing of like, this is, you know what this is? I'll tell you exactly what this is. This is that Flint shit that he did in fucking podcast form. This is the whole shit of like, you fuckers are nuts. Because I'm gonna go. So it's not fucking this. It could not possibly be fucking systemic fucking failure. No way. Has nothing to do with that. It's all in your heads, and you should actually be drinking more milk, because milk helps our farmers. As you know, you can tell because I got a straw hanging out my mouth that I am in solidarity with the farmers. You should be drinking more milk. Forget the water. Instead, that's what we get. Or what I just said is what we're getting here. We're getting a fucking... Again, of alternate reality. I wasn't in it for the money. Says the dude who was fucking president and just cleaned up on a fucking Netflix fucking deal. Says the other dude with the fucking songwriting catalog that gets millions and millions of dollars. Just be honest about that shit. That's all I'm saying. Can there be 1 second in this whole fucking thing where they say, you know, and I get it. I get this is what it is. I get this is what it is. No, because then it all falls apart.
But it was a recognition that the American dream had never been fully available to black folks. When I thought about what I should aspire to, it wasn't, man, let me be Jay Rockefeller.
Right.
It was, look at John Lewis.
Right.
Look at Dr. King. Look at these folks who are out there trying to make the world better and open up opportunity for people. So partly because of my own need to figure out.
Martin Luther King got shot because he was going all the way with his fucking ideas. Don't fucking put yourself in the same fucking category.
Who I was as a black American. That path looked to me like it was something necessary for me to do. My salvation was there.
But that's an interesting word, salvation.
Yeah, well,
because it turns what we're doing into a redemptive exercise.
Right. And that's what it was for me.
Yeah.
I find myself in Chicago working with folks who are going through these struggles and asking these questions. And
so why aren't you still there? Why aren't you still there? Because the promotions came calling.
Way trying to figure out how am I working, how am I going to get my kid working, how am I going to get my kid into college, or at least into a trade, what's happening to the value of my house, right? They're going through this stuff, and I'm seeing it in concrete terms. And that does become redemptive for me, because now my story merges with theirs.
That's right.
And the larger American story. And if I can figure out how to help that community that I've now become part of, and as it turned out, my future wife grew up in, maybe I can redeem a piece of America too, and make it my own. That becomes my mindset, and so
those are fundamentally my own motivations, and there's a deeper question of where that comes from, because it's a response to something.
We're trying to figure out how do we feel whole and make the world around us feel whole, right?
Well put.
Yeah, you know what how do we make the Middle East feel fucking whole? How do we make fucking Libya feel whole? Because we're set here, we figured us out. So now, because we figured us out, we must elevate ourselves and inform everybody else. Yeah, if I could do it for 2 people in Chicago, I can do it for the whole country and for the whole planet.
But the interesting thing is Michelle, partly because she was very clear about who she was, loving parents, family, community.
She's fucking smarter than you.
Like she needs to get redeemed. She feels like I just need some money. so when I met,
yeah, she's smarter than you.
She is driving a Saab and she's joined a wine club, and she, from her perspective initially, she punched her ticket. And I remember the first time, she invites me to a party with a bunch of her friends, and they're all these young professionals. I am very much the misfit, because at the time,
you didn't fit in. Yeah, you weren't a fucking yuppie. Yeah, no fucking way. Yeah, you were just a street kid, right? Fuck out of here.
One of my responses to this era, I guess I left this part out, was...
They used to... You know what? Story I fucking heard. It might not be true. But I think I got it from the internet somewhere. They used to have this... little birdie on the street, little wordy on the street, little whatever the fuck, urban legend. They used to have a thing they called the Obameter, where this guy fucking went to school. Okay, school being the key word, before the shit that he's talking about right now. They used to rate how snobby your fucking response was. His classmates fucking did this. Because he was the king of fucking snob responses. Arrogance in the fucking classroom. And now he's going to paint it like, I didn't fit in with young urban professionals. Why? Because I was a community organizer for 2 fucking seconds before I decided to elevate myself. This is so hard to fucking believe. You could be playing this to a kid who's 5 years old, who's fucking half asleep, fucking missing half his head, and the kid would be like, "What's going on here?" because this is Fugazi. I don't trust any of this shit. Something's not adding up in the story. And there's millions of people who would line up to buy this shit, drink this shit whole. It's called the fucking... No, I'm not even going to say it.
Went in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I had like 3 shirts, and I had 1 plate, and I lived in these scruffy-looking apartments, and all my furniture was, scavenged from either the street or milk crates. I knew that their live temptation.
I've never believed anybody less. I've never believed anybody less. I just don't fucking buy it. I don't buy it.
On the path of starting to want stuff, that was a hamster wheel you never got off of. So I'm with all these young professionals. They're looking all like like Richard Gere and American Gigolo kind of.
That was what.
And I walk in and my I got kind of I had 1 sports jacket that didn't quite fit me right that I'd gotten off some discount store. Ironically, I do think it was part of my power as a politician. People could sense that Michelle and I had lived through and understood what it was like to have a whole bunch of student loans to pay, what it was like to have some credit card debt, and what it was like to have to say no to things. And it wasn't an act.
Yeah, that's unique. You're a fucking unique individual there, guy. I can really tell by all the shit you did for us that you really fucking knew how it felt. I can really fucking tell. I'm sounding like a broken fucking record here, but check the fucking cabinet. Check the donors. How much you really gave a shit. Who is this for? Who the fuck is this for? This is for people who don't have any of this shit that he's talking about. This is for the young professionals that he's fucking criticizing. Except, like I said, nobody young is actually... This is for the 40s, 50s. This is for those young urban professionals. The people that he's going off on here. Which is a bad fucking move in terms of... If I was the guy who managed the pod, be like, tone it down when it comes to the young urban professionals from the 80s. Because, I don't know, that's our entire fucking listener base.
Right. And I guess the question...
Insufferable. This shit is insufferable.
You started off chasing music, but...
I dealt with it really, very simply.
But
there's no what? So now you talk about him. I don't get it. Here's more about me. Here's more. Yeah, because we need to know more about you. There's not enough about either of you in the fucking space of public noise. Now I'm the jerk off because I'm adding to this shit now. I'm adding to the mountain of already overdone noise and stuff regarding these 2 individuals because they haven't earned enough fucking praise.
You are, 27, 28, 30? There comes a point. What's the point where you suddenly, shit, I'm rich?
32, 33. What happened is I signed so many bad deals that for 10 years after I recorded, I was pretty broke, But then several things happened. One, the live concert industry began to become very lucrative, and we went out and played a lot of shows, and I had finally paid off most of my debts from all my stupid mistakes. And suddenly I came home one day and I said, I'm rich in the course of one tour. I had 20 grand in the bank when I started. I spent all my money in 1980. That's almost 10 years after I signed my record deal. That's what I had in my name. And I came home at the end of that tour with a lot more than that. And I said, oh my God, as far as I'm concerned, I'm rich. Second thought, I hate myself. Because now I'm in the trap, before, now I'm there, and so.
I'll take your fucking money for you. I'll take it from you. Oh, but now I hate myself. Oh, whoopsie daisies. Francisco, you're gonna come pick me up, aren't you? I'll take the fucking money if it's causing your Catholic guilt to fucking go through the roof.
First luxury was the luxury of ignoring my money. But I remember I bought one new thing. I bought a $10,000 Chevrolet Camaro. Every time I got in it, I felt like I was driving in a solid gold Rolls Royce, and I was embarrassed.
You didn't feel
you weren't.
You felt self-conscious about it.
Very
No, you
self-conscious.
weren't. No, you weren't. No, you weren't.
Well, the other thing is it runs contrary to your brand.
Yeah.
In terms of who you are thinking about it as both your audience and your subject.
Yeah, and who I feel like, So I don't want to settle for that. I want that whole.
Yeah. I'm just an ordinary guy talking to the fucking former president of the United States.
That you were talking about. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm after. You know?
Redemption.
That's correct.
Salvation.
So I was very, and I consider myself healthily skeptical when I started to change station.
Right.
You know?
Even as this whole atmosphere, because it just accelerates, right? I mean, all through the 80s into the 90s.
Boom, 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 boom.
It is not only are you making more and more money, but the temptations of how to spend your money become more and more lavish. And your peers, folks in your musical stratosphere, are not quite as restrained in terms of how that money is being spent.
Everybody has a different attitude about it, and I don't really judge anybody on it. All I know is what
I'm just wondering. I know I'm not saying you judge them. What I am saying though is during this period, how are you?
If I had to listen to somebody describe fucking water, or the process of making orange juice, I would rather listen to somebody. Give me the most boring fucking thing in the world, because at least then I learn something. At least there's not been a nugget of anything, of information that I've learned in fucking 30 fucking minutes. I've learned fucking nothing. I've learned more from the ads. I've learned more from learning that if you put something on 2 times speed in Spotify, that you can make a difference. The song go faster and slower. It turns into a different song. That's been my learning experience. This dude has more. This dude was in an office that fucking 45 people, 46 people have ever fucking been in fucking history. 2, 3, or 4 are still alive. However many are alive still. Give us the goods. But I felt weird because I bought a car. It's just so boring. It's so boring. And it's like I said, it's not that boring. If the 80-year-old guy describing orange juice and the process, you gotta squeeze first of all, you take the peels off. Then it'd be boring, but I'd fucking learn something. Not a total fucking waste of time. This has been literally one of the largest wastes of time ever. And I've done some shit to fucking waste time. Let me fucking tell you. Okay? I fucking drove fucking 4 hours in a car to go see some shit that I didn't even fucking want to see. Got stuck in fucking traffic. Was supposed to be 4 hour drive. Took 6 hours. Missed the whole fucking thing. Because it was somewhere in the middle of fucking Connecticut. As a favor. Missed it. Drove all the way the fuck back. That was less of a waste of time than this. Harry Met Sally was less of a waste of time, because in spite of all the horse shit there's still some moments of entertainment, and I'm engaged somehow. Even if I got no, into that movie, I'm engaged. What the fuck is the point of this? Who is buying this? I know the answer to that. Like I said, I know the answer. And it's sad. And it's pathetic. They could make fucking pillows out of the fucking fluff that's in this shit.
Thinking to yourself, why am I not buying a huge mansion?
I am thinking that. And I don't have the answer, which is a big problem. Because I got to a place where I said, I want a home. Mm-hmm. A home is a part of that wholeness.
Right.
I can't find one. I can't get one. I can't buy one. Right? And I realized, I get it. I can't buy one because I don't deserve one. A car. Why do I feel bad in it? I don't deserve it. Why don't I have a partner and a home life and children and satisfactions of my own? I don't deserve any of those.
You have all of it.
When I finally made some money, it forced me to interrogate myself about who I was. I was very conscious about remaining, at least I remained physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually a part of the community that I came from. That was really important.
You went to islands. You went to private fucking islands on private yachts. There's fucking photos, guy, of the people who you were saying ripped you fucking off. The record people gave you a shit deal, and the way you repay those assholes for doing that is showing up on their private fucking yacht, on a private fucking island, and doing a fucking podcast with the fucking ex-fucking president of the fucking United States of a fucking America. How many meds are you on? Seriously, how many meds? How did I
stayed in New Jersey. I hung out in the same bars. played in the same bars on the weekends when I could. You know, I had the same group of friends, and I probably took it to an extreme. But looking back on it, I would rather have taken those things to an extreme than gone the other way. I'm interested in the story that I want to tell, and I know that story and my very self is inexplicably connected to the community, the people, and the place that I came from.
Right.
And if I sever that connection, right, I've lost something, and I've lost something essential.
Yeah, no, because you haven't lost anything. Yeah, I could mistake you for some dude at a bar stool right now. You and him are exactly the fucking same. I could not tell a single difference. I would have had you pegged for a fucking, the dude who complains about his sandwich in a fucking deli, who wears a fucking veteran's hat and just spews, tinfoil hat shit that he heard on TV. Yeah, you and him sound exactly the fucking same. I could have pegged you for a fucking security guard.
Moving forward, very, very carefully, and tiny steps by tiny steps, until I remember I bought a house in the most exclusive community in this little part of
community. He's even said community. Like, he's not trying to be community. He wants to be a fucking professor, this guy.
And I felt terrible. Right.
If I would believe that if you stopped living like that. Like I said, I would fucking believe that. You don't have to live the way you live. If it's really that stressful for you, and it's really that bad, like I said, the Des Donation Fund is always wide fucking open. I'll take all of that shit off you. No qualms. No qualms. Is it corrupting? Yeah. You know what? I'll fucking deal with it. Because the opposite of that is, this entire system is fucking built on having it. So why not fucking have it? Actually, that's what you should be asking. And if you're so fucking, if you're so, whip chain myself because I have a couple of dollars for the first time, and you hate that fucking institution of that, maybe ask the guy who is in charge of the fucking ship that creates the fucking dollar that you're so sad about, and who oversaw the system that fucking uses that dollar and regulates that dollar. Maybe ask him a couple fucking questions. What he did to change that narrative. Maybe you don't want to, because you know the answer is jack fucking shit.
First night I'm in that house, I'm like, what the fuck? Have I lost my fucking mind? Am I going crazy? What am I doing in this place, But what I realized was, looking back on it now, if you drove past the house, there's a nice lawn. And it's a nice sort of upscale, middle-class house. We raised our kids in it for 30 years.
Right. But it's not
middle-class house.
No, it's not, and so...
Middle-class house.
And I realized that part of it was a big house. What did I hope to do?
If he's middle class, I don't know what the fuck middle class is. I got no fucking clue.
I got it to fill with that wholeness that I was searching for. Right.
I know it's true for you, Bruce. It's certainly true for me that we're always questioning in this culture, am I losing touch?
Strokes big fucking beard. What could possibly be the answer to that question? Am I losing touch? No, you're fine. You're totally fine. Keep doing what you're doing. No, you both are men of the people, and I mean that sincerely. You're not losing touch. No fucking way. It could not possibly be that. No, it's the 80s shit you were talking about. And it's the people who floated down from fucking nowhere and all of a sudden showed up and changed. No, it's them. Yeah, no, it's not you. It's not you. Don't even ask that question. Don't even. Because then they win. Right?
And pray to this huge consumer engine that's being fed to us every single day. Am I forgetting what's important? And that requires you sometimes to step back and reflect and maybe get that perspective.
And what was the answer? If the answer was anything other than, yeah, you're fucking out of touch, then you know what? Hire me. Again, I'm looking for work opportunities. I'm looking for connecting the dots and certain angles and trying to put ideas in my head out into the fucking ether, because you fucking live once, right? So how about, I got the political consultant thing going from last week. This week, how about I'll become your guy. Like, I'll become your fucking conscience. You pay me some of that Netflix money. You pay me some of that, the money from all the nice new properties you got. And what I'll do is, in exchange, I'll fucking follow you around And I'll make sure that you know that your shit always stinks. And when you say, hey, this, or folks are, does it seem like I'm, yes, you're out of touch. No, let me tell you exactly. Again, connect the fucking dots then. Talk about connecting the dots. I will be the political consultant to this guy. Now we're fucking talking. Ideas. I love them. I fucking love them. I will be the political consultant to this guy. It'll be a lot of work because 24 hours a day I'm going to have to pull this guy's head out of his own ass. Sometimes fucking physically probably because it's that far up there. But in terms of making money, in terms of finding opportunities and pursuing them, that's the American dream. And if he wants to be a part of fulfilling the American dream in a way that he didn't fucking do in 8 years, what he can do is fulfill my American dream. And then if he fulfills my American dream, he can say that he fulfilled the American dream. Because his whole thing is, right, you helped 2 people in fucking Chicago, now let's go fucking help the planet. So he can say, as his next, he can fucking run. I'll be his campaign fucking manager in 2024. He's gonna be over here, and I'm gonna say, look, we're going, in terms of what we're saying, we're going all the way over here. We're gonna fucking swing all the way in the direction. And if I can't do that, because like I said, it's gonna be a hell of a task, but if he wants to keep doing this shit that he's doing a sense, whatever, then we'll say, okay, yeah, at least he fulfilled my American dream. So that'll be something he can fall back on. He can put me in a fucking ad, dress me, like, I was gonna say dress me real shit, but he doesn't even have to do any work. Just put me in front of a camera and say, it'll be a picture of me, and then we'll put like a fucking suit on. I'll put a suit on, like for one day, just to take this photo, and it'll be like before and after, and it'll be like, look, this guy fulfilled, if this guy went from this to this because of that guy. Okay? If that's not the American dream, I don't know what is. I love it. I love it. I don't know how I'm going to get in touch with this guy. I don't know who I got to talk to. I got to start maybe writing some letters, sending some emails, talking to people who know people. Maybe the fact that I'm shitting all over his fucking shit podcast is going to elevate, is going to get some sort of fucking traction somewhere. I doubt it. I'd say if it gets 6 views, I'll be fucking surprised. But, you got to dream. If that's the lesson from all this, you gotta keep dreaming, and then just watch out for the random people who come in the 80s and fucking change shit permanently in a way that was never fucking could not be fucking seen beforehand, because we had 3 glorious fucking decades of fucking war and fucking materialism and all this shit they're fucking talking about. Just avoid that. Just avoid those things, and we're fucking good. The American dream is alive and well. Prove it. Prove it, guy. I'm fucking here for it. I got nothing else to do.
Here, my Christmas present to Michelle. We were in Hawaii, and I arranged for us to have a dinner on the top deck of this hotel.
Yeah, you did.
Overlooking
Of course you
Waikiki.
did. Of course you did.
Left the girls
Why not?
behind.
Why not?
Some friends arranged this Hawaiian trio, play some songs.
Okay.
Had the torchlight.
It sounds good.
It was a good setup. Watch the sun go down. I was quite pleased with myself.
No, well done.
The best part of the evening, right at the beginning, we started tracking all the places that we had stayed over the 20 years that we had been coming to Hawaii. Starting with first when we slept on my grandparents' couch. Then second
my
time we
God.
got actually a motel
We
room.
get it. You want to try to seem like you're fucking down with the people. We get it. You understand that by doing that, you seem less like the people than... But I understand. Your audience is not me. Your audience is people who live in fucking Chelsea or wherever the fuck. I don't know, Upper West Side, Upper East Side, whatever the fuck. Don't fucking come after me now because I said Chelsea and you say, oh, that means that he's... I don't fucking know. I was picking a random spot. But the more you try to, so that's who. Oh, it's for yuppies. You're making a podcast for yuppies, so you're not making it for me. But it sounds like you're like, so either you just know that they're not going to question that because they don't know what the fucking price of bread is on the Upper West Side, Upper East Side. So are you just assuming that you can fool them? Because you're not fooling me. Anybody like me knows the more you have to fucking say that shit, dude, say what your shit is. Nobody cares. If you're honest about it, nobody fucking cares. Yeah, I own 3 fucking ponies. Yeah. You know, my granddad was, forget owned the Rolls Royce. My granddad was Rolls Royce. John fucking Rolls Royce. That was John Rolls and Joey Royce were my fucking 2 grandparents. That's what it is. You get so much more fucking respect if you just say, yeah, that's what it is. But don't fucking say, like, I know what you're wearing right now. I know, like, what, I know where you're living. Don't fucking try to fool me. I can sense it. That's why he needs me. You see this? You see, this is why he needs me. I am his answer. I am his only hope. He can fucking run again. Not that any of us fucking want that. I want that. If it means that I'm getting fucking paid for it, obviously. Otherwise, not.
It was like 5 miles from the beach. And then we moved to a legit hotel that had a pool in the general vicinity of the beach. Then we went to like a Sheraton, you know, and you know, this is over the course of 10 years, right? And then there was a place, you know, with the girls, and there was a separate room. It was sort of like a junior suite, I think is what they called it. Yeah. So that you could close the door and the kids outside, so that it was possible to have a little bit of privacy on your vacation with your spouse. You could track sort of our economic status, right, over the years, through our vacations. You could almost see every place we had stayed. But the pleasure of it was reminding ourselves that we were just as happy in each of those places. The constant was our time together. And the setting really had not made any difference. Mm-hmm. It, you know, initially there'd been a little burst of excitement. Oh man, you see that you got the little shampoos in the bathroom, and, you know, then you go to a place where it actually has like a robe. You know, like, man, try on.
Yeah, because you didn't know that existed. You didn't know that existed beforehand. You had no clue that they had little shampoos in a hotel. I fucking know they have little shampoos in a hotel. They have little shampoos in fucking Motel 6. They got fucking little shampoos in less than a Motel 6. You go to fucking Skeeter's Motel, the dingiest, disgustingest thing. You have a fucking upside down trash can full of, you know, hobo semen and all that kind of shit leaking out of it. You go to that fucking room, they still got little bottles of soap and shampoo. How this is blowing your mind? This is what, again, I'm trying to sound authentic. You sound artificial as fuck. Show me a place that doesn't have that. Show me a place that doesn't have that. Robes. Oh, they have a robe. Holy shit. Wow.
This is something, right? After that initial moment, it was still the sunset that mattered, and you holding hands. It was still the sound of the girls laughing as they were running after each other in the sand. It was the free stuff that had nothing to do with the places you were staying in.
Those are the elements of joy.
That was what made you whole, right? And I think communicating.
Yeah, you know what else made you whole is not having the fucking stress of fucking of all like fucking not having money weighing down on your shoulders. That could have been part of it. The sun looks really nice. Yeah, it's because you're not fucking stressed out. Because you're able to fucking escape. You're on vacation, motherfucker. Some people can't even take fucking vacation. But it's the sun and the grass, and it has nothing to do with that other shit.
As part of our politics, our stories, our songs.
There's no stories.
Ourselves of that
You're not telling any stories.
How you then get to the point where you can build a coalition.
Yeah, get to the point. That's a good take your advice there. Get to the point.
To actually change the policies.
Hire me. Hire me. I'll change the policies for you. You have no fucking clue. Now we get song time again. We go back to 2X.
This episode of Renegades is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Grooming as a man is full of endless possibility. It's a series of personal stubble and there's...
This is, ready?
Hey,
Here we go.
Here we go, 2 times.
This is Used Cars. Used Cars
ready?
Was a song. It probably captured the feeling of my family life, my childhood, and my neighborhood as good as anything that I've ever wrote. The threadbareness of a lot of our lives.
Here we go. Ready?
All I remember was when my dad drove in that driveway.
Get to the fucking song. Get to the song.
It may have been a freaking Lincoln Continental.
Get
brand
to the
new
song.
off the sofa was how excited we got.
Get to the song.
And looking back on it now.
Get to the song.
You know, I guess there's a happiness and a sadness to it. But anyway.
Get to the song.
My little sister in the front seat with an ice cream cone. Paws and black seats sitting all alone. The past years were slow out of the lot for a test drive down Michigan Avenue. Down my fingers, her wedding bands. Watch the salesman stare at my old man's hands. Tell us all about the break it gives.
He's fucking this up for me too, because he's going off in the speeds. He should be doing one speed. If he goes to one speed, we can build a beat. We can start doing, going to Funky Town. Let me run it back. Let me try to. Maybe it's just Desi's shitty fucking ears. Can't find the beat.
Down my fingers, her wedding band. Watch the salesman stare at my old man's hands. Tell us all about the break it gives if he could, but he just can't.
No.
But if I could, I swear, I know just what I do.
Almost Irish. Almost sounds Irish there. Here we go. Here. It's fucking Irish. I fucking love
very real economic inequalities that have arisen.
I'm leaving it on 2x. Fucking. We're speeding through the end.
The country's gonna fall apart.
Well, because when folks lose that sense of place and status, when suddenly steady work alone isn't enough for you to support your family or to be respected, when you have chronic insecurity, there's a bunch of policy stuff that has to be fixed. But the policy fixes are going to come in part because the country starts telling a different story about what's important. That shift that we're...
No. No. The policy changes come because somebody in that whole of Suez Canal boat, giant thing of sewage, has the balls to fucking stand up and say, you know what, I'm doing this. And I'm not going to take fucking $1 billion from the assholes on Wall Street, who I'm then going ahead and saying, they fucking changed everything, and then take their fucking money, do their fucking favors. You tell that to Goldman fucking Sachs? The issue is not, and I'm sick, and everybody's fucking saying this now. Everybody's fucking saying this. Saying, oh, but the people have to, there's 3 million fucking people went out to do some shit about the guns, and they said march to the guns, march against the guns, whatever. 3 million fucking people went out. What happened? Fucking nothing. Fucking nothing. Clearly it's not the fucking issue. Clearly the issue is inside this fucking cesspool. Do we have to go Independence Day? Do we have to go Independence Day? Do we have to take the whole fucking thing out? Do we have to talk to people from Mars and say, look, it's gotten so fucking bad. We're gonna need your fucking help liquidating this fucking thing. Because apparently there's no other possible fucking solution. We've looked everywhere. It maybe has nothing to do with, it's not this, it's not that, it's not that. It can't possibly be because assholes like me never fucking, never actually just said, here's what it is. And I get it. I fucking get it. He does one thing and it becomes black guy on the loose, blah, 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 blah. All hell breaks loose. I understand what he was up against. I fucking understand it. But don't fucking pretend don't stop saying it's out there. It's not out there. It's not out here. We know what it's like. You don't know. You have no clue what it's like out here. You are cut off, which is why you need to fucking hire me as your consultant. But the answer to all this kind of shit, you stop bitching about that shit and then not looking at what the answer to the question is. You have your question, you have your answer. So stop asking a question if you're not going to fucking look at the answer right in the fucking face, which is looking at yourself in the fucking mirror, or looking across from you at a guy who's, oh, I'm just folksy, whatever, Mr. Jeeps. I'm so sick of that.
It really went away. No, it accelerated. And, the argument between, conservatives and liberals, left and right, a lot of times the argument had to do with how much redistribution, how much taxes there should be, but never really got to some of the core issues about why is it that we're measuring ourselves just with how much stuff we get, and is there a way for us to think about that differently? Because if we're thinking about it differently, then now it becomes easier for those who have a lot to maybe give some up. In order to make sure that those who have a little have...
It has nothing to do with the money. It has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with corruption. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has nothing... Yeah, it's simply, it's in our heads. It's all in our heads. You're so right. We're so wrong. We should all just go out and look at the sun and listen to fucking Bruce Springsteen and look at the fucking sun. Because that's the same as being in Hawaii on fucking vacation. Because that's all it comes down to. It doesn't matter that I'm fucking owing, you know, I got back fucking rent. It doesn't matter. That's all. That's a problem of my head, isn't it? And we have these disagreements, but we can agree on the sun. We can agree on the sun. And the stories. It's all the stories. You can't even fucking tell a story. I'll fucking... That should be the next episode of this shit. We'll do Des Shits On, and we'll try one we'll call Des Storytelling. I could come up with a fucking with a story like that. Turtle named Seymour. Okay? Wanted to go out and play with his friends. But his friends were rats. Rats, possums, and assorted fucking rodents. Okay? And his parents were like, don't go fucking do that. Because that's not your species. We don't do that. But one day he's feeling lonely, so he goes ahead and he fucking does that. Seymour goes up to the pair of rodents. He's like, "Hey guys, can I play baseball with you?" And the truth is, their parents are saying the same shit about the fucking. We want to say it was a turtle. I think it was a turtle. I think right. Turtle seems to say, "Don't play with fucking turtles. They're different." The kids, they had that in the back of their head, but like, "Hey, yeah, sure, let's play baseball." They all play baseball together. They get along fucking swimmingly. Okay, they trade baseball cards. They go out and buy some big league chew. Okay, they're talking about what other species they find attractive. You know, like this is I've already given you more of a. We haven't even advanced beyond the point. But the setup for that story, there's so many ways I could go. So many ways I could go. One day, Seymour's parents catches him playing with the possums and rats, and he goes, "Son, you gotta come here." He fucking rushes him, grabs him by the collar, brings him home. He said, "Now, what did I tell you?" He said, "But Dad, we're all friends. We all get along." He said, "From now on, you're not allowed to go outside because you've broken our rules and whatever." So now Seymour's upset and he's in his room. And he's on the verge of crying. And now the rodents out there, they miss fucking Seymour. I'm fucking starting to cry now. Because this story is... See what I mean? I'm pulling this straight out of my fucking ass. Straight out of my fucking ass. You want to talk about stories, though? You want to make it... The issue is the story? I got fucking stories. I'll give you every fucking story in the world. You give me the plot, give me fucking 20 minutes. You don't even have to write it down. The pen and paper, don't need it. All here. Jay-Z style.
I think that there's been this rush of information, of a certain life-distorting information.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, and there's only one flavor of that. There's only one flavor of that. Life-distorting information. I want to see what he says about fucking Russia. Did he buy that shit for 4 years? Tell me about fucking life-distorting information.
It's not going away. Ever. So, it's going to call on people to both, as I said, have interpretive abilities that possibly generations before us did not need to have. But they're going to have to make decisions about what's valuable, and what's truly deeply valuable.
And I guess that's...
And it's the sunset in Hawaii. Of course.
Trying to get at is there's a story, a collective story we tell about what do we value.
There it is.
And part of what...
Yo, you know what we need to value is fluff fucking podcasts for yuppies on Spotify and fucking Netflix deals of saying, this is how we did it. This is how we did it. When you didn't do fucking shit. That's what we should value as a society.
Do in my political career, part of what I'm trying to do post-politics is tell a story that is counter to the story that has been told, that says the American dream is defined by you ending up on top of that pyramid that's getting steeper and steeper, and the more people
do you see what's happening
the better
here?
off you are. Because
do you see what's happening here? Again, it's my fault for wanting fucking money because I am not stupid enough to see that, yeah, no, this is how the system works. That's the currency. Because I can fucking just see for myself because I'm not a fucking dumbass. But it's my fault. It's my fault for wanting to not be drowning. Because there's a fucking line. There's a fucking line. They call it cost of living. There's a fucking line. And if you live below it, you're... And if you get above it, not to say that you're fucking rich, but you're above it. If you own certain shit, if you own shit, and you can borrow against that shit, if you're not just burning fucking cash on your rent or whatever the fuck, you know, maybe you are in a bit of a better place. A little bit of a better place. So fucking forgive me for not wanting to fucking drown. Guy who fucking was in charge of the aquarium, the water levels. It's my fault, though. My fault. And because my story's fucked up. You gotta tell me, you've told me that you've taken 45 minutes with your buddy to tell me the most incredible fucking story. That's the shit that I should be worried about. Fuck my own shit. Fuck my own shit. Go to Hawaii and sleep on a fucking couch. That's the lesson I got, right? Because I'm the problem with this whole thing is that I just want too much. I just want too much. I'm just an asshole. God forbid I make double what I make now. What a piece of shit am I? What a piece of shit am I? Really.
It sounds.
And that's become the prime story, where I don't believe that was the prime story 40 or 50 years ago.
Exactly. Our expectations and tastes in terms of what
this is the worst fucking podcast I've ever heard in my life, and it's not what it's.
And then obviously it's in our politics,
boring,
right? Which is how you get somebody like a Donald Trump elected, because he represents, in the minds of a lot of folks, success.
I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything's gold plated. You got the big plane with the big name, and you got the buildings with your name on it, and you're going around firing people, and that must be.
Yeah. Whereas us over here sleeping on fucking couches, I have to remind you that I don't come from shit. If I spend half the fucking podcast reminding you that I don't come from fucking wealth, a bit fucking fishy to me. The fucking grand mystery of this, I can't.
For men,
I'm exhausted.
That is a sign
I'm exhausted.
That you have succeeded, right? And one of the things I never understood is why people would want an individual success at the exclusion of other people. There's entire communities that are premised on living behind a gate, cut off from the larger community, isolated, maybe resented by neighbors.
AKA Bruce Springsteen.
And that just always felt lonely to me. Felt empty. It's like Citizen Kane sort of rattling around in his big mansion, muttering about Rosebud. But that is the attitude of so many in power. That's the model of success. That is the endpoint of the culture that we so often promote.
As opposed to what? What is the alternative that you're suggesting? How are you any fucking different? How are you any different? How are you any different? The lack of self-awareness is off the fucking charts.
The good news is it's actually
there's more.
I think you can see a potential convergence among the religious impulses.
Okay, I'm going to 3x.
Church and are oftentimes thought of as conservative, and the spiritual impulses of a lot of young progressives who say, look, I want to preserve the planet, I believe in sustainability, I believe in equality. There is a spiritual dimension to our politics and how we define success and our connection to each other and status in our society that is out there waiting to be tapped, and that's, I think, a big
because
part.
You know what? I'll tell you exactly what. Okay, so you talk about fucking people talking about the planet going on fire. Yeah, because the planet is gonna wait for your story. If I don't want to act like I know. I don't know fucking shit about climate change. Got no fucking clue. No fucking clue. Do I agree that maybe fucking of all people Al Gore shouldn't be telling me what to do? Yes. Do I fucking see how maybe pumping a bunch of fucking shit into the air yeah, I fucking see that. It's not my fucking thing. At the end of the day, it's either we're all gonna fucking catch fire and die, or we're not. Now these people say that there's a good chance we're gonna catch fire and die, so what are we gonna fucking do about it? This guy says there's the stories, spirit, and you should it's really you. Because if you want the extra thing, the extra money, that's gonna set some fucking trees on fire. And you shouldn't do that. God forbid we talk about the people who are already fucking burning entire fucking rainforests. I can't. How there's still more time left in this podcast.
We got to do to make America feel whole again.
You're losing battle. Losing battle. You're not gonna do it. Whole again, too, keyword again. They keep going back to this again. That's why they keep saying again. That's why our presidents are fucking 90. That's why our presidents are fucking 90. He's gonna be fucking president again when he's 90, because people are gonna remember. They're gonna say, "Oh, times are shit now," because times are always shit now. Times are always shit now. If times weren't shit now, you wouldn't be thinking. But every time they go, how are times? Times is shit. So in 2050, when the planet's all fucking catching fire, apparently, supposedly, and all of our heads are on fire, right? And, you know, we're just gonna have to fucking deal with it. We're gonna walk around with fucking fire extinguishers because Timmy's gonna be walking down the hall to you know, geography, and he's just gonna burst into fucking flames. Someone's gotta put him out because it's gonna be 3,000 degrees. Okay? And in that year when times are shit, he's gonna fucking mount the campaign, and he's gonna win because, you know why? Because people remember the time that they're gonna remember the time that he was in power, which remembered the time from before. It's going to be a chain of fucking remembering the fucking times. And then we're going to figure out how to fucking cryogenically freeze these people, too. So, and I think actually, you know who the first person is going to be there? Is Donnie Golden Toilets. Because he's so fucking self-invested, and he's got the wealth and whatever, he'll probably figure out a way. I just don't see him dying. I think that he's going to find out some fucking way to freeze himself. And we're going to have his fucking bloated, fucking wrinkled, disgusting fucking corpse to look at for the next 200 fucking years. And he's going to run every 10, 12 years for this chain of, like, to remember the time that remember the time that remember the time that remember the time from when, like, 2 years after, you know, I was semen. Which is the time where I didn't have the comprehension to understand the evil in the world. When it was more pure. When it was like, wake up, take a shit, fucking sleep 18 hours a day, drink some fucking formula, or some titties, or have some Gerber baby food. Anything to bring me closer to that, because that was the good times. Who was president then? Doesn't fucking matter. I'm voting for that. I don't know what I just witnessed. Witnessed. Do I let it play out? I think I got the point. I'm actually out of, you know, like how they say out of respect, you know, you play out of two. I'm not going to give it the respect of finishing that. It was actually not what I expected. It was actually worse than I expected. Because it was so fucking boring. I'm still thinking about the Seymour story. I could fucking turn a script out for that shit. I could be turning on a script a week. You know what? You just trust your guts and go with it. And it's based off of, and you start adding the heart comes into the story when you start tying your personal experiences into it. Because I actually have fucking personal experiences. For all I know, this guy didn't exist. This guy could have been created in a fucking lab in Papua New Guinea. Okay, his birth name could be Hashem Lopez. Hashem Lopez, who was reprogrammed, and now okay, and I see. I'm seeing the. So then talk about fucking Springsteen now. Because I was going to say, now I said Hashem Lopez, they're going to say, oh, now this sounds like some birther shit. You said Papua New Guinea. Oh, he's just suggesting he's an American. Okay, fine. Do it with Springsteen. Point taken. Do it with fucking Springsteen then. Bruce Springsteen is Hashem Lopez, and he's from fucking Papua New Guinea. I cannot validate that person actually fucking existed, because they're telling me stories, and it's kind of like, hey, do you remember that time where we had the food? It's like, hey, do you remember that time where we ate the sandwich? And then we walked on the sidewalk. It was crazy times. You know, it's like, what are you talking about, guy? You know what I mean? Like, they're trying so hard. But then again, they don't have to. The reason they don't have to try hard, really, is because they have a team full of yuppies, like I said, you know, fucking cable news loving, you know, people, like I said, who bought the Russia shit for fucking 4 years. The blue MAGA, vote blue no matter who, fucking backing these guys, spraying fucking, you know, good vibes in a spray can up their assholes. At all times. No one's giving them the real thing. Enter Desi. Career opportunities you make for yourself. This is my... So if any of you ever listens to this, if this makes it out of the dungeon, not only this dungeon, but like the views dungeon of like fucking 5 views, if it ever makes it out and makes it public, within a reasonable amount, like I said, I think this guy's going to be around for a long time. I think once Donnie Golden Toilets breaks the taboo of cryogenically freezing yourself and lasting for 200 years, this guy's going to hop along. And there's going to be a lot of support because they'll be like, oh, Donnie Golden Toilets is going to be around for 200 years. Well, we need to have our guys frozen for 200 years. And we have to. And because he's going to blow up. So then they're going to bring this guy and they're going to freeze him for 200 years. So I basically have 200 years, or until I fucking die. Which I don't think I'm going to make it to the... If I can get there, I am fucking doing it, first of all. If I can, like... I keep saying, like, I'm acting like I know the technology. I don't know the technology behind this. But I'm just envisioning some kind of way where you freeze yourself or you do whatever to give you, like, eternal life. I'll do it. I'll do it. But in the event that I don't make it, which is very likely, like I said, I could be stuck in fucking Seven View hell. I could die in anonymity tomorrow. I get hit by a fucking Lincoln. I get hit by Springsteen's fucking Chevy Camaro that he hates so much. That he's so blinded by his Catholic guilt and self-hatred that he fucking plows into me. You know, my organs spill out all over the fucking streets. That could happen fucking tomorrow. Except he wouldn't come around places like this. But if he did, maybe his driver driving his car to him, that happens. And if that happens, you know what? Then this makes the whole thing moot. But if that doesn't happen, and fucking guy, if you're listening to me, I am available. Political consulting. We'll negotiate a rate, and it better be a fucking good rate. I'm not doing this for the good of my health. Clout will help. You do have the clout. We don't know how much money you actually have. And I agree, you're not a billionaire. But you got fucking clout. Okay, so at least that. But you have money too. You have the clout translates to money, because then you can go to Netflix and be like, hey, we're not doing a show without Desi. Because without Desi Cakes, I'm just a fucking lost soul who acts like I'm found and needs to fucking spread his gospel. So you say, hey, there's no next Obama thing without Desi. Desi's my political consultant. He's going to keep it real with me at all times, which is 100% guaranteed. I will never blow smoke up your ass. I'll tell you, I'm like, that's good. If you knock something out the park, say, it's good. That's good. And to prove it to you, I might, although this was so bad that I can't even, but maybe at some point in the future, I'll go back and listen to the dad shit, because the dad shit's going to hit right there. You know what I mean? All that kind of shit. Like, going back to the Seymour story, right? I'm sure there's some overlap there. But maybe, like I said, these guys are robots, though. They're mechanical. They can be like, my father was a man, and he had arms, and when I was a child, he was older. And I remember, and that's how it was back then. So it could be a lot of that shit. But if it's not that shit, maybe I'll go listen to that to prove that when you're right, I'll give you your credit. You know, I'm not here, but I'm not, at the end of the day, I'm not here to blow smoke up anybody's ass. I'm here to find avenues to best bring Dez to the planet. So if you're listening, you want to get involved, you have a couple of 100 G's to throw around, let's do Obama Phase 2. If you're willing to do that, dude, I am fucking there. We'll go all the way 180 though, because we're not keeping any of this shit. We're not keeping it. We're going to do fucking, it's going to be called Obama 2024, No Fucks Given. Featuring Dez, the campaign, the political consultant. The offer stands, my friend. If any of you had to endure not only the inescapable fucking boredom of the last fucking hour and a half now, it looks like, not only that, of the content of the thing, but my fucking rambling bullshit. If you had to really put up with all that, I apologize. But if you made it through, again, you are not only a champion, but a champion amongst champions. And you should go live a champion's life, my friends. I'll see you next week when we shit on something else. What it is, I don't know yet, but whatever it is, I hope it's more entertaining than that shit. Peace and love, motherfuckers.